So let's start with the minutes. Do we have a motion to pass the minutes?
Have to call the order first.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's call this meeting to order at 7:08 now. Okay, right. And public comments, there are none, I assume. Doesn't look like anyone else has joined us.
None.
Just all right. Now we'll move to the minutes. First, a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll make a motion to pass June's minutes.
And do I have a second? I will second it. And any discussion? There's nothing that I saw. Anything, Mike, that you noticed? No? Okay. So all those in favor who can vote, that would be Mike and me, say aye. Aye. Okay. And Smith, you abstain because you were not at that meeting. All right. Okay. Liaison reports. So we have Dave with us, and I'm going to mute myself. David, do you have any news for us?
Just a second. I think I'm unmuted now. You can hear me? Good. Not really a lot has gone on that affects the Recreation Commission, although we did approve the signage for the, I believe, for the road race that was requested. And, if you've been watching the Board of Selectmen meetings, the most recent development has been in the new proposal that has come forward for the Country Club of Woodbridge, which is currently going to be on our discussion held by the board in a special meeting on September 1st. So we will be meeting again September 1, in addition to our normal September meeting. That's pretty much it. Summer's kind of slow for us. So we haven't, I don't think we've done any substantial work that would really, that really affects you other than the things that you've applied for and we've approved.
I was curious, are there any details about that proposal that you can share at this juncture?
There has been, I think it'll all come out on the September 1st meeting. So I don't, I have a packet that I haven't looked at yet. That's a PowerPoint presentation. The basics are a group wants to buy the entire tract of land from the Country Club for the Country Club of Woodbridge and put in a very substantial development. Would include a combination of large homes and also some smaller plots with some affordable housing and a roadway, a bike path system, and some roads in there. And their plan is to, I think the initial offer, of course, that pending, I guess, inspection of the land is a $9 million offer for the land. And, it remains for us in due diligence to look through and see what that means to the town in terms of, what that number would really mean to us from our budget perspective. Early stages, and this was not a plan that we sent out a request for proposal. It was simply came across the transom, an offer from a developer. I don't know any of this influenced by by some of the latest things by planning and zoning in terms of trying to answer the need for affordable housing, that particularly the one proposal that came up on Orchard Road. So I don't know what we don't know why it came about. Apparently there was a broker that they were talking that the developers were talking with who suggested the piece of land in Woodbridge, and they got interested, and so the rest is it's now in play a little bit. There are a couple of other plans about the Woodbridge Country Club, so I'm not sure what how the board will take on the other proposals that have come up. There is a proposal for the clubhouse that's been out there. That was a petition proposal that we acted on in July, and then a subsequent meeting between Beth and the petitioner yielded an understanding that the people who were doing the proposal would move forward on trying to come up with a plan for actually, instead of selling off the whole piece, perhaps just marketing off the country club clubhouse and a 5-acre parcel to be used in some fashion as a banquet hall or something like that. So there are a couple of ideas that have percolated. The board has not really discussed what we might do if we put out an actual request for proposal. So right now we're just dealing with the facts of things that have come to the attention of the board.
So
that's
so
probably the biggest section. Yeah, Mike.
To follow up on that, I have followed the proposal a little bit. I know there's some documentation online on the town website, and I'm not totally clear about if this is going to go past the Board of Selectmen and to the point of any kind of a referendum or not. But in the proposal that I saw, it seems as if the developer is offering to build recreational paths, volleyball courts, possibly a pool. So, with that in mind, I would just ask you to, take back to the Board of Selectmen to keep rec in mind and involved as much as possible, as we would, I'm sure we would like the opportunity to try to align any of those kind of opportunities with our long view plans.
I will do that. I'll be
Thank you.
sure that that's mentioned in our discussions.
Excellent point, Mike. Yeah, very definitely. There were a couple of things that I know Mika had taken back to follow up with. I don't know if anything's been done, but let me just sort of bring it to your attention. There was some rotting wood by the gazebo that brought to his attention, and there was hope that that would be taken care of before the concerts. I don't recall seeing any work being done, so I'm not sure if that was done. But before it becomes, that it can't be repaired, it'd be good if someone could really take a serious look, because there was some rot last summer even, and also I noticed above center school where the clock is, the unworking clock, the non-working clock, there's also a piece of wood that's kind of falling and looks a little rotten. So these are just some repairs that could use a little bit of TLC. And one other thing I don't know, actually, John Adamovich would know this. The goal was also to get a color printer for rec, and I'm not sure if that happened. We did. There had been a lot of printing materials.
No color printer, right?
I'm getting. I'm not. It's getting in that echo again.
Oh, there's no color printer. Tony said it was too expensive.
Okay. Maybe that goes on our wish list. Because we print and Teresa was certainly printing an enormous amount of material to, go out. But
Tony did offer us the mimeograph machines from 1962 with your crank handle like that. We're gonna get those as soon as we can. In a spot.
perfect.
Sarcasm.
I'm trying to recall if there were any other things that Mika was following up on. Those were the only things I recall. Excuse me, I have to step away just for a moment to get a dog to stop barking. 1 second.
John and Jim, if you need to print something in color, what do you do?
Crayons. We have crayons. Dave Cohen and his crew coloring in. We just color.
Do you bring something to
We
the?
don't really have anything that has to. We don't really have anything that has to be in color, except for our big signs, and we send those out. To be done.
Yeah.
We order them, and they come back in color print.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, David, for your report. We look forward to hearing news of what's to come, actually, in our September meeting. All right. In terms of, actually, we have to move to election of chair and vice chair for 2-year term. So, how do we do this? We need a nomination or nominations for the chair. You are muted, Michael.
Yep. I would make a motion to nominate Andrea Weinstein as chair.
Thank you. I guess we would need any other nominations or a second.
All right, so
Yeah, I second.
Bill seconded.
okay. So at that point, are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I think we should take a vote on my motion.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Can I vote for myself?
Bill's a yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I will take it on. Thank you for entrusting me with this important mission as chair. All right. Did we hear from Bill?
Yeah.
I second the motion.
Oh, right. Of course. Okay. Thank you, Bill. And now we take a motion of vice chair. I would nominate Smith.
I will second
I'll
that
second the
nomination.
Any other nominations?
If anybody else is willing to do that, I am willing to give somebody else a chance to do that if they'd like.
I move we close the nominations.
Okay. All in favor of Smith being our vice chair, say aye. Aye. Smith, are you abstaining?
Yeah. Yes, I don't know if I could vote.
Thank you so much for taking this on. Second term.
Gotta get her a chair.
Who's there? Is that Jane?
Jane's here. Jane's here.
Okay, Jane. We just voted on the chair and vice chair, which is similar to how it is right now. Hopefully you're okay with this. Jane?
I don't see her.
Jake, they're talking to you.
Yes.
Andrea, at this point, I was gonna say, at this point, Andrea, if there's any other, votes, you should do a roll call by name since we can't see two of the members on screen.
Okay,
But as far as the nominations went, that's
It's
done
closed.
now.
it's closed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, in terms of, so actually, I should just, Jane, are you present?
I'm here.
Okay, great. So we see everyone else. Okay. In terms of my report, I really have nothing specific except to share that I hope everyone and everyone's families stayed safe during COVID, and obviously we continue to have to be cautious and stay masked and keep our programming healthy and our participants healthy and our staff healthy and volunteers and the like. I look forward to hearing reports about the camp, although I read David's report, so it was great to get that in writing. Love to hear more about swimming, and I hope that with our new programming, some news blasts are going out. I know um, uh, Bill Bannock is having a free yoga week, so if a news blast hasn't gone out about that, that would be great to put that out to the group. I'm not sure if Diana's teaching yoga, so it'll be good to hear more about programming. I know the tent was a bust. Like to hear more if we have other ideas about outdoor spaces. And also just wanted to really congratulate everyone on the concerts this summer. Great attendance, great music. It was a lot of fun. People seem to really enjoy it. And hopefully next year we can have more vendors there. So it was great to have our coffee cart and some ice cream. So that's really all I have to say. And then actually there's one other question, but maybe that'll come up. And that's pertaining to school, and is extended day happening? And if not, is there more opportunity for more recreational programming? So these are all things that I'd like to have more discussion about. Thank you all.
Extended day is happening.
It is, okay. Okay. And let's turn to Smith as our vice chair, if you have some words, a report.
You took two of my things I was going to say. First of all, I thought the concerts were great and well attended. And after the first week or two, we had pretty good weather. I want to thank Kathy and everybody else in the office for continuing to get the concerts going. It was a really fun crowd. And the second thing, I can respond to your inquiry about extended day. They just said last week that it is going. They were trying to figure out how to do it by grade. So they are isolating everybody by grade. And at one point, they were going to have like one grade on and one grade off. But they are not now having everybody on because they reached the minimum in each grade. So that is on. And I saw, you guys have some great programming going on. So I'm hopeful that the fact that they have extended day won't hurt our registration at all. Looking forward to hearing about that comparable numbers.
Thank you. Let's move on to the pool report. We have Chris.
Hello.
Ah, that doesn't sound like Chris. That sounds like Teresa.
Hello. How is everybody? The
Good.
pool's doing great as always. It still has water in it. It's doing its job. We are we did great this summer. Like every summer, it's a successful summer when every day ends with kids having a good time and going home safely. So we've achieved our goal, and that's our only goal, is for kids to be safe in the water and to have a good time. And we had a great summer and everyone stayed safe. And it's thanks to the staff in the office and also the camp staff for the high level of communication they have and everyone working together. We will be offering fall swim lessons on Saturdays. We will not be having swim lessons on Tuesday, Thursdays. We will only be doing them on Saturdays. We are bringing them back for Saturday mornings. We're starting small to see how things go, also to see how things go in the fall and the winter. And then we're just going to progress from there. If we need to throttle back, we'll be able to do so with the platform on how we're doing it and at the size level. And if we can move forward, then we move forward.
Thanks, Teresa. So Saturday, what will it look like in terms of is it private and semi-private, or how many swimmers are you opening
So
up?
what it's going to be is we're only having levels 1, 2, and 3 so that we can properly social distance in the pool. Level 1 is going to have 6, but we're going to break it into groups of 2. They're going to be 2 children to each instructor, and they will stay in that pod, if you want to use the word pod. Ideally, unless someone is ill or something happens, they will always have, this is our goal, but I'm in what life happens, so I want to indicate that they will have the same instructor, unless, of course, life happens.
Mhm.
And those 2 pairings of children will always be those 2. So again, they will be in that pod. We'll be able to social distance in the shallow end. And again, we'll be able to do that the same in level 2. They'll be broken into teams of 2. Now, level 3, we're still, based on how many children we get, we're still going to have them spread out. Level 3, you don't need to have the same student to teacher ratio, but they're still going to work in groups of 2. And we're going to just have taped off markers where the kids, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, group 1, you go here. Group 2, you go here. Group 3, you go here. And they work with each other in those pods. So everyone's going to have a 2 pod, if you want to call it like that. So we can kind of limit any kind of interaction. We're going to have parents bring the children to the bottom of the ramp. We will have somebody sign them in there. The teachers will pick them up right there, that teacher who's with that pod, and then escort them to the pool. We are going to ask the parents to stay, either they can view in the hallway, or, but we're not going to have parents down on the pool deck.
Did you say it'll be up to 6 kids in each level? Did I hear that right?
I'm sorry.
Did I hear correctly? Did I hear that it'll be 6 kids per level? Is it like 3 groups of 2
Yeah, so we're
kids?
going to have level 1, 2, and 3, and 6 kids per level.
Yeah. Okay. And what happens with the locker room? So they're going to come down to the pool. Do they have access to the locker rooms?
So we would ideally like them to already be changed. Most of the time, little kids are already changed when they come down to swim lessons, but if they're not, they'll be able to get changed in there, like we have it right now. And then, then they would be escorted back to their parents right after the lesson. So we'll still have it the same kind of setup that we're basically doing for the lap swim.
And are kids, when they're not in the pool, are they wearing masks? Is that what you've been doing?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The same rules that they have in school are going to apply towards when we're doing our program.
Okay. And you opted to, sorry, I have a lot of questions other people may as well. And you opted not to do the after school program and just stick with the Saturdays because what's your thought about that?
Well, I want us to still start small. This is the first time we're coming back. And also at the same time, this is the first time a lot of pools are coming back, to be honest with you. Everyone else has been doing either privates or semi-privates. Kind of taking suit from other locations, talk to other pool directors and see how they're doing it. I've talked to pool directors in Shelton, JCC, Orange, and they all started small. And I want to be able to start small so we can control it. We can learn, right? This is the first time we're bringing children back into the pool outside of free swim, where it's an activity where you're interacting with the instructor, you know? and, just basically being able to control the environment and build from there. Always safety first.
Sure, sure. And how long is the session? So each session, in terms of, is it 6 weeks or 8 weeks?
It's in 8 weeks, 8 weeks.
Okay. And so depending on what happens there, eh, and what's happening with COVID, perhaps we could
Correct. That's
expand.
why I want to keep it at this.
Gotcha.
Because also we have to remember Tuesday, Thursdays, a lot of parents use our program as an after-school activity. Right? So if we're not able to maintain that level of safety, which we're going to, but say something happens, say COVID gets worse or something, if we're not able to maintain that, we're leaving the parents in a very hard position to find adequate childcare for Tuesday, Thursdays after school.
Makes sense. Thank you. Are any other questions or comments? And actually, is the school planning to start the swim sessions again through school, or do we know that yet?
I have not heard anything.
Yeah.
That doesn't usually start until January, Mr. Taddy's program. They're usually January.
Okay. Any other questions about the pool or? Okay. Thank you, Teresa. Thanks for your care. All right. Personnel. We do have some personnel. And everyone has been vetted in terms of background checks. So we have Lee Owen, Mackenzie Floyd, Austin Gilbride, and Andrew Gilbride as sports leaders. Do we vote on each one separately or together as a packet? I think as a packet. Do we have a motion? To pass these for young sports leaders?
John and Jim, could you clarify what a sports?
Say it again, Smith.
Could you clarify what a sports leader does?
He leads sports. A sports leader is under Dave Cohen. Dave Cohen's a supervisor, and they set up the programs, and then the sports leaders interact the program with the kids. So they're actually full contact with the kids, giving them the instructions of how to do and what to do, and then to play the games.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
Dave oversees all of that.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Thank you.
Very hard
Thank
to
you.
get. And I'd like to just say that I'd like to give kudos to Dave Cohen. It's very hard to get instructors now. Nobody wants to work during COVID or like this, but Dave Cohen has done an unbelievable job going out there with the kids. Our relationship with the kids in Amity in the area, he's pulled in a lot of things to keep our programs going. So he really should get a big thanks for doing that.
Thank you, Dave.
Many thanks, Dave.
Are these kids that worked over the summer or different group?
It's mixed. Some are in college, some are in Amity.
Some didn't work for us this summer, but then now they're
Working now,
They're working now. Some are left to go to college. So we intermix everybody, and then as they come back and filter in, Dave knows exactly when and where and keeps in contact with them. One of our workers left to move to California with his girlfriend. We're trying to get them broken up so he can't move with her and stay here because he's the best worker we have.
And that's the same for Teresa's swim instructor. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very hard to get people to work.
We're finding it tough. We're finding it tough like this, but we're out there, campusing around, looking around and everything, and we'll get it done. Or I should say Teresa and Dave will get it done.
I see Austin is a college junior, but he's going to be here.
We hire these people now if they can work a day, because you just can't bring them off the street to work. You have to go through all this McGilla. You have to have a background check and you have to fill out 20 pages to get them hired. So at least they're in the system to work. We had a
Right.
hard time this summer with that.
Right, and they may work just once, this fall, or they may be able to work the winter when they come home from college. We have them already set to go, and they can just come right in and work, and they may know that. Dave talks to them like that, and he knows when they're coming home, and we get them right in.
Okay, that makes sense.
If somebody comes off the street to work and they're wonderful, they can't work.
Yeah, unless you're bent, it takes a lot. So we get them, we interview them, we know who they are like this, we get them going, we tell them in the future, you'll come in and work here, there, and there, and that's what we do. And then they're ready to go for the summer, they're ready to go for the spring.
So we're not scurrying at the last minute. Nice. So Jane had a motion to,
Yes, I make a motion to accept them.
Second.
And I would like to second it.
Bill DeRosa seconds.
okay, any further discussion?
Further discussion.
All in favor, say
All
aye.
in favor, say aye.
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 Great. Unanimous.
Unanimous.
Okay. Former country club.
Former country club.
update.
Well, here's the update on the country club. Dave went out again. Here's Dave working for us hard again. Went out and got some guys to come in and look at it like this, and the prices were like 27,000. They were just out of control. And the reason being is when they folded up the tent, they didn't put the cornstarch in between everything, and the tent just stuck together. You're not going to get that tent apart. It'll rip and tear, and it's 20 years old. The top of the tent. So the guy said, don't even think about using that thing. You have to get a new one. And the cost of it was just outrageous. So maybe we were thinking of maybe if they make us an offer, maybe they can buy it from us. They can buy the thing because there's no way the town's going to spend any kind of money like that to put up that tent. They didn't, I put a tent in our 6-year capital budget for years, a smaller one than that, so we would have one, and it's always been thrown out. So why not get the money back and put the money back into the program to buy different types of games and different types of equipment that we could use? So that's where we're at with the tent. It's not going to be blowing up. But we do, if anybody wants 12, 14 big 2-ton blocks, they can get them for free. I hope they don't get stolen out of Beecher North.
But you have to move them yourself.
Well, the town took them. The town took them back.
The mafia block?
Yeah, mafia blocks.
So-
Yeah.
So in terms of if the tent could be sold, is this something that David, you get involved in this?
No, Tony should work out we'll talk to this gentleman from the awning company and work out a deal.
Yeah, well, Dave will just get him the name. Give Tony the name. We'll give Tony the name, and Tony and the town works out the deal. It belongs to them.
There's a labor involved taking that. This gentleman was over here twice,
Yeah.
looking at it. And it can be done if you had $1 million.
A lot can be done for $1 million.
Real quick, just to be clear, we're talking about the tent was at the country club.
The country club.
Yes.
That we've had ideas about moving here and there, and the last was it was going to go up. I think
Hold on 1 second. There's a lot of
Beecher
noise.
North.
So maybe we should all mute.
Okay, is that better?
Okay, is that better?
I'm echoing. I'm just trying to understand.
I'm just trying to
At what point did we realize that the tent was damaged?
When David got the individual from the awning company to come out, and he came out and checked it, wanted to see what we had, what was there, what special kind of it is a special time of frame. It's not a regular frame. It's I forgot what it was called, but the guy said this is a very good one, but it's a special one, Niagara Tracker, whatever it's called, and it's very hard to take up and put down. And he said, I want to see your tent top. So Dave took him over to the country club, went inside, he looked at it, and he just laughed. He said, this was not stored correctly. And then when they tried to pull it apart, it was just, stuck together with the heat, I guess, whatever it was. So then he said, you're going to have to get a new top.
So just for the record, do we know who packed it away? What happened?
No,
Packed it, they're responsible though.
it's how many years ago that thing was, 7, 8 years ago it was put away.
Yeah.
They're only good to last 1 year stored. And then after 2 or 3 years, it doesn't matter who packed it away. If it's just going to mildew and all that's going to get in there and you're not going to be able to use it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what happened. We didn't know that. That's why we thought we could go put it right up.
And
This gentleman came over here twice.
one more clarification. In terms of selling any part of it, you're talking about the framework, the metal part.
Right, the frame itself. The frame is a very good frame, he said. It's one of the best frames that you could put up. and it's worth money. So we'll get his name to Tony, let Tony work out.
I wonder if that can happen, if there's some sort of smaller compact tent that can still be useful to rec, if there's a way to have some sort of outdoor classroom.
Andrea, I remember having a hard time following the meeting because of all the cross echoing. Could people mute if they're not talking? This is really impossible to follow.
Yeah. Maybe the town can come up with a better situation for us and give us a better camera and hook it up to the TVs or something like that. We'd love that if you could do that for us, Dave. We'd love to get a nice, beautiful system we're working off of, but I understand what you're saying. So we're going to try to mute every time when we're not talking. We'll do our best.
Well, thank you. I just, I'm really having a hard time. That's all. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. So what I was saying is if we're able to sell, some portion of that tent back, will there be any, this is just thinking ahead, could it be possible that we purchase some other kind of tent that's more portable but could be stored in such a fashion that it could be brought out as another outdoor classroom? That was our hope with that tent, especially because of COVID. We thought this is going to provide a fantastic large space, and maybe we can
Yes,
get a couple
there
of
is.
smaller tents.
There is a way we could do it. Please pass a 6-year capital budget with the 10 I put in it for the last 6 years that we can put up. Instead of having this big 65 by 65 tent, we go in and we get a smaller tent that Wayne and Warren Luciani let us borrow one year for the road race. That was a beautiful tent. They store that in a small container. Everything goes into one place like that, and we could use it. And so if we get that passed, then we would be able to get half the size tent that we have, but big enough for us to use for all kinds of events. Yes.
Okay, so it'll be really curious to see if Tony's able to sell, some portion of it back, and what sort of funding there is, and if we have any access to it. It's just something for us to pay attention to, I think. Anything else about the tent? No. Okay, let's move on to summer concerts, which Smith and I addressed, but why don't we hear how perspective, numbers, all that kind of stuff.
Kathy will be in next week, next month, to give a full report on it like that. We didn't get home because of a delay till like 9:30 last night. We sat in the tarmac at Hartford because of the Delta didn't have enough people to work for them. So Dave Cohen goes to work for Delta. He'll probably get people hired. They couldn't get the bags off the plane, so we had to sit for 2 hours out there and wait. So she'll be here next month with a full thing of that. But it was a great concert. Things were going along nicely, and hopefully we'll get vendors back next year. I don't know, vendors wanted to come out because they figured it was going to be small, but after they saw, our ice cream guy saw what it was, and our coffee lady was excellent. She's definitely going to be back like that. She was good for the program. So Kathy will give a full report, but it was, they say, very successful summer concert program.
Great. Agreed from the concerts that I was able to attend, and welcome home. Glad you guys got back safe and sound. Director's report. John, take it away.
Here's Johnny. All right.
Andrea, we skipped the road race on the agenda.
You're right. I thought Kathy and I flipped right over the road race. Yeah, I marked it. October 2nd, right? Thank you.
Yeah, we're working on it right now, working on the sponsors, everything like that. We should be able to go there. Should be a good concert. I don't think we're going to have cooking. We're not going to have this year any of the firemen coming in and cook, but they will help us with the whole road race and everything like that. But with the COVID around, we can't be sharing and everything like that and having too many people, because it takes a lot of firemen to do that like 6 or 8 guys under one tent, which would be a little too much. But we will provide waters, we will provide juices. We will be ready to go. And Kathy will have a report on that also next month. So we should be able to go with that.
And I believe
I was looking for volunteers. Beforehand.
Always looking for volunteers, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'll talk to Kathy, or I'll have Kathy call you, and you maybe could put something together with a few people.
Is she gonna be working, are they having giveaway packets like previously where we would put together the night before?
Yes, we will have a package to go out, to hand out.
Thank you.
So you'll be able to tell us in September, at the September meeting, I guess, what the needs are. Kathy will be able
Yes.
to. I also know, I think Dan Stevens was in touch if we want to have any live music. I'm not sure what that, what that would cost, but I think maybe Dan Stevens was in touch with you. He's been looking to do a local gig. He's a local musician in Connecticut.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to speak with Kathy yet, so as soon as I see Kathy, I'll tell her about this person that Dan wants to perform and see what we could do.
Okay, sounds good. And now, if nothing else about the road race, we move on to John's report.
Okay, starting off with the fitness center. The fitness center, we're running programs in the evening. How's it going, Jim, on the parts that you
Yeah,
have?
very good. Right. Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and then Saturday and Sundays. It's well attended.
I heard about fitness and then it went silent. Shall I be introducing outdoor facilities? Is that why it went silent?
I think we lost them. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah.
I
No.
could mine. You can use mine.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, we hear you. So we heard fitness report for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sundays. Do you know how many people on average are coming in to work out? I mean, I know it's
About
limited.
half a dozen. Yeah, we're getting around 6. Yeah. Yeah. John's having a problem on their computer right now. But he said outdoor facility softball, they're in the playoffs. They're at Center and West River.
Tennis courts are doing fine.
Tennis courts are fine. Well, pickleball is well attended. We have lots of pickleball on court 3, lots of reservations. So yes, tennis is really booked.
Programs.
Yeah, program registration very well. We had 52 people last week, which is a big 1 week. We never. That's great. Registration for the first week.
Can I mention one thing? Summer camp, we went over. Hold on, Dave wants to interject. You have to talk to
Dave, you gotta go over there because it's not working.
Right, Dave's coming over here.
Turn down your volume. and
I'll
have
turn
them
down
turn
my
up-
volume. Yes.
Turn yours up and have them turn theirs down.
Oh, okay.
John, turn yours down, John, so he can turn his up.
Okay. All right, Dave.
Our art instructor for the summer was great. I hired her for the fall to do a program. So far we've had, how many people sign up? 4 or 5?
Yeah, for that pro. Yes.
Arts and crafts program on a Saturday.
That's
It
great.
worked out very well. She was so good for camp. We didn't have to order any supplies. I think we spent maybe $200 for supplies all summer for her. A young girl, absolutely great. Kids loved her. So our Saturday activities are booming.
And we really appreciated your report, Dave, about the camp that you guys included in the packet. It was good to see that summary.
Jim, how does the current registration for the after-school programs at this point compare to previous years, if you have those numbers, if it's close?
Yeah, thank you for asking. We're usually just after like 1 week of opening, we're usually just in the teens, around 14, somewhere out there. Like I said, we got 52 registrations last week, which is amazing, and that doesn't count her swim lessons. We had 18 swim lesson registrations, and so I mean we did really well for the first week. And you got to remember, all we did was do the emails, the news flash, and our email list. The school's not letting us put out flyers. So, I mean, we did a heck of a job, I think, just, by the electronic means.
Jim, since the school is not allowing you to put out flyers again, would you be able to put a link or something on the Facebook page or other websites and such?
All right, Teresa says she could do
Yeah,
the
I can
Facebook.
do that, and I can also, I have a credit on our Facebook account, and we can do some advertising for after school and for our Saturday programs, just like directing people where to go. So we can try to hit as many things, and I can have that also go through like a Facebook advertisement.
I do think that this from now till the next 2 weeks is very, very critical because I think that everybody's, we had a bunch of things fall into place today for the beginning of the school year, the first 2 weeks. So people are just starting to think about that, and this is the time.
Yeah,
Well-
I can get it done this week.
Well, the other thing too is it'll be in the town's newsletter, which will
Oh,
should be coming out shortly. And then also, it was submitted to the Woodbridge Town News. So we have also, it'll be in those two medias, coming up within the next 2 weeks.
And I can choose the areas that we want to cover to make sure that we, get the closest radius as possible, so it hits as many, close them, because I'm sure everyone sees it pops up. You look up one thing and then all of a sudden you're seeing carnivals or this or that pops up on your feed. So we can definitely work with that, and and make sure that that gets done this week. I'll work with Jim. We'll get it done.
Thanks. Are you offering the running club?
Yes, Ryan Club is being offered, correct.
Running just as fast as you can.
Thank you.
Do you think that we can actually, just thinking about the advertising, do you think we can get something on the main page for the town site?
Okay, I'll work with Betsy, and I know it's on the news flash. That's it's on our part of it. We'll see if we get something. On the.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to get something front and center so people don't have to hunt. And this is, important as parents and families are thinking of their kids going back to school. It would be nice if it's super, accessible. So that'd be great. And is there any other, oh, so that's what will be highlighted in the town news? There's not another article, right?
Yeah, the fall programs, right, will be in one of the articles. We put about the move. That's also in there. So yeah, we have a lot going
Yes.
into the paper.
Yes. I was actually wondering, did you do some kind of news blast about the move as well, so people know where you're located?
Yep, that's all in the news flash section of our website. That we have the move. We have all the registrations. Bill Bannock's yoga. All those have
Perfect.
News flashes.
Great. Okay.
But I already found one.
Should we move on to financial report?
Financial. John's over here with me now, so. Yeah, we got the mic right here, so you can talk.
Oh, okay.
We're on.
Okay, financial, we have current expenses at 17%. We're just starting out. Very low. And current income is at 7.2%. Last year's income.
Zero. Yeah, it's
was
correct.
zero.
We didn't have any
Zero.
programs.
We didn't have anything last year because of COVID.
Yeah.
Expenses, last year at this time was 6.1%, but we're at 7.2 because of COVID. We have to spend a lot more on cleaning, and a lot of things have to be cleaned, and it's just really hard. Every time you use an area, it has to be cleaned before the next group can come in, and we have to leave it the way it is. Whereas before, we can clean it at the end of the night. We can't do that anymore. It has to be cleaned after each session is completed.
And we didn't have camp last year, so that's a factor. That's even the spending includes camp, whereas last year we
That
didn't
even
have
includes the
camp.
expansion of camp. With no
so-
camp last year, we were outside for the little bit of camp we had. This year we're inside, and with that, we had to do all the COVID restrictions. We had to get, for the cups and water and everything like that, which was done. Dave took care of all of that too, and we got a lot completed. But I think we held it pretty tight at 7%. That's it basically for the financial report.
Money well spent and necessary spending.
Correct.
This obviously doesn't include the registrations that you got in the last few days.
Correct, right.
Correct,
That was the
correct.
last, I think, Thursday there. Yeah, because I sent the packet out to you on Thursday, so.
Yes.
Right, yeah, so, correct.
So the income would be up even higher.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it for the financial report.
I have a question for the financial report, Andrea. If I just wondered if your additional expenses due to COVID are anticipated in your budget or in your pricing structure for the registrations, or do you think that that's going to have an overall effect on the budget for the year as a whole?
It's a good question. We haven't really factored in.
I'm not a wizard. I'm not a wizard. But if I could guess, I would say yes and maybe no. You don't know. We thought COVID was going to be clearing up, but it's not clearing up as fast as we thought it was going to be. Our budget was already handed in. Mr. Gigoletti and his crew, I think, did a great job of chopping everything up like this and coming back with the tightest budget you could possibly have when you know you're going to be going up. I don't think that was fair, but it is what you do in finance. You make the budgets count. But we're going to do the best we can with what we have, and we'll get through it, David. We work very hard here at Recreation to come in under budget to work on things, and a lot of the hours you don't see there that Mr. Cohen worked, he doesn't put down. Extra crews and extra times when he's not at home and making phone calls and everything. So we're a department that works very hard at following the directions and following this. Teresa works from her house with all her kids. She has 3 kids, twins, and she's working out of her house to do that like this. I'd like to see any other department in the town of Woodbridge that comes out and does what we do on the weekends, what we do at the evenings when we're not on the books and not going into our thing, and we're not doing an 8 to 5 job. So I'm very proud of the people in this department. I'm very proud of the commission, how hard they work and are always supporting us. So that's where we're at. And so I hopefully we can get through. And if it is still a bad pandemic, next year when I do the budget, I will add a pandemic section to the budget as an additive to oversee what we have. But I think we can make it. I think we can make it and come very close to making it. We're trying our best.
I just want to add, we did add a COVID fee on camp. We had our
Yes.
price and then we said $50 COVID fee. So
Yes.
we did up our fees in anticipation of COVID.
And we may be adding that too to some of our programs if we go there. If we see that COVID is really striking again, then we'll have to add a COVID fee to anybody that joins any one of our programs. We'll try to cover it that way.
Yeah, I didn't know how flexible you were or what the process was for, changing the fees to reflect the fact that you may not have enough in your budget to handle all these extra cleanings and things that you do.
That's true, and that's why we added into it like this, and we are flexible enough to be able to do that, and we try to cover the cost the best we can, and we use the people that are work with us that are here, so we don't have to hire extra people. We use the staff that we have, so that helps us out also.
Well, I do believe I do believe in what you say about both the commission and your workers. Everybody here seems to be very committed to your goals and to making this all work, and that comes out, in the loyalty of your meetings and all the things that you report on. So I wasn't questioning that at all. I was just wondering how you're getting through.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dave, if I come out a little bit harsh. I'm very sensitive to Rick because it's not a job to me, it's a career. It's exactly what I always wanted to do with my life. I was a phys ed teacher for 38 years, and I was in recreation since 1964 when they started. So it's a part of me. So I just want to make sure it's a good part and it goes out good.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thanks, David and John. Of course, I understand, David. You want to make sure that the expenses for all these COVID expenses are covered in some way. I don't know. So that was really a good idea for this summer to add that fee. I guess have to see if it will be necessary to add a fee to the programs in the fall. John, if you think that'll be needed, but it sounds like you've.
I just like to kind of know when I make my report for the board, because, if they have questions, I kind of have to anticipate how we get along in this difficult time, because every department has to deal with it their own way and differently. And you guys have a lot of different circumstances than the library or other places do. So, uh, it's not easy for anybody. And I'm aware of how hard you're working to make it happen. So that's great.
That is not your thing. That's
I know, I don't have any volume, yes, correct.
Thanks, David.
Yeah,
Any other
John's
thoughts
having a
about
problem with their
this?
computer over there. That's why, we're having the problem.
Yeah. Does that mean we need a new computer?
what's going
I
on.
don't know what's happening with that computer, so that's why John's now over here with me.
Gotcha. Okay,
I don't have a camera, so
right,
we're
okay.
doing the best we can.
Right, thank you. We hear you. Any other thoughts or questions about finances or from the commissioners as well? No? Okay. Center gym usage.
You have to be amongst the top elite 2% of Woodbridge to be able to use it. We're not allowed to, still not allowed to use it, only because of the air exchange in
Okay,
there. There's not enough air exchange. There's no way, there's nothing in there that, we can open the doors and put a fan in, but that doesn't count. So until COVID-19 gets really down to almost nothing, I think we're gonna be out of that gym for a while.
okay.
Still no custodian in the evening too.
And-
That's
and-
the
yeah,
the part too.
They let the custodian go because there's no programs. So without a custodian, you can't run anything.
Yeah,
We
okay.
even had to cancel our men's program in there that play basketball. They're not allowed in there because there's nobody to clean up after them.
Hmm.
And when we got John Vigliotti, who takes care of his group, and he always cleans up afterwards like this, still can't do it because of the air exchange. So many cubic feet per hour air has to exchange or something like that.
So this brings in another issue. I don't know if David has any update about the old firehouse. And at some point, the hope and the plan was for recreational facilities to move there. And I don't know if there's any word on that, when hopefully that would factor in some better ventilation. Is there any further word, David, on that?
Uh, the, the old firehouse is scheduled to go, the cost for the renovation of that and that project is scheduled to go to a referendum sometime later this fall. And we're gonna, the town will vote on it. We'll see where it comes out, and then we'll know what happens moving forward. The uh, the sort of Delta variant has caused a lot of those plans to kind of get perhaps moved back. It's in order for us to have a referendum on those bonding issues. I'm told that we first need to have a town meeting, the purpose of which is to refer all of these things to an actual referendum. And so the difficulty of the town meeting is the problem, because there's a great deal of reluctance in town hall to have a meeting that would be of that, a town meeting where people have to meet in person. So I think there's, it may be, let's see how things are going. We no doubt will discuss this at our regular board meeting, in September. For right now, there's no real certainty about a date for that town meeting or the referendum. But that is the plan, to have a town meeting where people could come to the town meeting and ask questions about the project so that they can be brought up to date on all the plans that are out there, the costs and so forth. And then at that town meeting, the main purpose of which would be to refer it to an actual referendum where we would have a vote. So everybody would come out and vote on the bonding. And that would be not just for the firehouse, but for the other projects that are needing bonding. Uh, uh, all of the various projects that are on the list.
Okay, so, and way back when, just, you may already be up on this, that there was supposed to be, the gym facility was supposed to move over to the old firehouse, and then the multi-center room was supposed to be accessible for yoga programs or other sports programs, and this is something that was discussed how many years ago? 15? I can't even remember now how long ago, but that was the plan. That was part of the plan. Um, so just so that's on your radar.
In the plans that I saw for the renovated firehouse, there was no gymnasium per se in the renovated firehouse. There were a lot of multi-purpose rooms, and yoga was mentioned, but I didn't see any basketball court, so I didn't see anything like that in it.
Yes, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It wasn't a gymnasium, it was the exercise room where the equipment, the current gym equipment that's currently in rooms, not 16, room, whatever those two rooms are at the end of the hall in center school. There's the room 16 where was a designated yoga room, and then the other two rooms that are the equipment um, rooms for the gym.
Right. Okay.
Not a
Well,
basketball
the
court. Yeah.
right. No, there is a lot of the plan is for a multi-use purpose built facility, a renovated facility that would have multi-use. Uh, so it just, it remains to be seen what will happen. I mean, the town will get a chance to vote on the bonding, and that'll tell us a lot about it. And right now, there is no tenant, if you will, for that space. It's kind of it's a space with nobody going into it. No, originally there was some talk with the school system about it being for the special needs group for part of that facility to be used for that, and that was an income stream that was going to be part of the whole budgeting plan. Uh, that is not happening. So the entire budget for this particular renovation would fall to the town to bond and vote on. So that's a little bit of a difference from what it was when it was conceived.
Okay. All right. In terms of
Andrea,
yes, yes.
is there enough room in back of the old firehouse where the grove is for a 90-foot diamond? Just kidding, just kidding.
Oh, just digging up those old wounds. um, no, but there's room for expanding the coffee. No policies and procedures in our packet, and then we have some correspondence.
Yes.
One from Dwight. His thanks.
Dwight
Yeah.
Rowland on his district playoffs that he had there like that, and kudos to Adam Parsons for keeping that field like mint. Every year they at the headquarters for the Little League, they vote on places, and we're ranked one of the best facilities for kids to play on, which is great.
I can second that. I spent a lot of time up there this year, maybe too much time. But I second that and third that, and I do appreciate everybody's work in the recreation department. I actually had a very brief conversation with Dwight a month or so ago. I said, I love it up here. I just come up here with my son and the giant feet, the grass area between the two fields. We just kind of hang out, throw the frisbee around. And I said, Dwight, what's the chance of getting a concession stand up here? And he said, the number one problem is there's no water and no access to water up there. So there is power and there is other things you may need, but there's no water. I'm like, Dwight, what do you need water for? You sell the water. You put it in a cooler, sell it in the water. sell a couple bottles of water. So, but I talked to him about that, and I said, it's a really, really great area up there, and the vibe was really, really good. So, thank you to everybody. I just want to comment on that letter from Dwight.
I think years ago there may have been a concession stand up there, like a truck, a hot dog truck or something.
I think real quick, I think the water is more for if they're cooking anything, they have to have water to clean constantly. It's not a matter of just to drink. So.
Yeah, that's what he said as well. But I was just kind of joking and giving him a hard time about it.
Okay.
Just for a fact on that, Orange at Brindley Field, one of their fields, the pipe broke or something like this, so they had no water, so they take out the cooking part of it. But they said they did excellent with the selling of soda and the selling of waters and all kinds of candies and stuff, without any cooking stuff. So they did keep that thing alive. So maybe that's somewhere where we start with something
So,
like that.
commenting on that, John, my son played in the state tournament this year, and we went to a tournament in Newtown. And they have 3 fields there, and all they had was this little shack. And exactly what you said, they were selling water out of a cooler. They were selling individually packaged snacks, and they made a killing. So I think I'm gonna bring it up to Dwight again at some point, but. So, but it's definitely it could be a bit of a source of revenue.
Yeah, I just remember also we used to have the carnival over at the Allegri property, and one night people kept asking for lemonade. So I went over to the firehouse. I bought 4 jugs of stuff like this. I put 5 down there. I put it in there. My total cost was $26, and I took in about maybe 700 just selling lemonade on ice. It was unbelievable. So there is a way to help out.
Another good idea. All right. Other correspondence. We have
There are field requests.
field requests, right?
Ernie's request for the
Amity.
Fitzgeralds. That's normal. That's a normal request. There's no conflicts with that. That's fine. As you can see, the Amity Travel Soccer, though, they're submitting their request, and it's late. We gave that field to the travel softball in our June meeting, and now they put their request in, and even he's admitting it, he's late. I sent the reminders out in June. If you read on the letter, you keep on going on. On June, my reminder letter went out to all the people who use the fields to get their request in. So he's late. I mean, I could accommodate with him. He could have center on Wednesdays, but Tuesdays and Thursdays they could just have to settle for P's, and that's it. I mean, that's all we have. I don't know. I mean, they're late. Again, and their request, that's Orange Soccer Association. I mean, they have Fred Wolf Park in Orange, on another too. So I don't know. That's my concern. But I bring it up what you want to do. But again, center is not available. We gave that to the travel softball because their request wasn't in on time, and so that's to mention about the Orange Soccer field request. And then Everson, the end with Everson Soccer, that's his normal request for every year, and no conflicts in that. So.
Okay, so that seems reasonable that they could get center, you said, on Wednesdays?
Wednesday. They want Wednesday and Thursday. They can have it on Wednesday. Thursday, they'll have to use P's.
Peas. Okay. I mean,
he's late. I don't know what to say.
It's all you can do. It's all you can offer.
Just tell them next year to get in on time.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And I worked with softball. I emailed softball. He emailed me today. He freed up some dates, but it's not on Thursday. So there's nothing. I tried to.
Yeah. No, sounds like you tried to accommodate the best you could. All right. So, do we need to vote on?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a motion to approve Ernie Goodwin's request for the Monday through Friday, 2:30 to 5:30, and then 9:21, the 3:45 to 6 p.m. field request, and that is for which field?
Yeah, for
Just
sure, the
show.
walking trail.
Okay. Oh, right, of course. Okay. And then to approve the Amity Travel Soccer to offer up the Center Road on Wednesdays and then Thursdays for Peas. Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve these? And a second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Bill DeRosa says aye.
How about Jane?
Jane, yes.
She said,
Jane
she's
said
also
yes.
yes too.
Okay, all right. And then and then there's some correspondence related to requesting services of one police officer for the home cross-country meet.
Not just Ernie, that he takes care of the officer.
I
That's,
see,
That's
I see.
just part of his
Okay, that's part of
correspondence. I'm
his.
sorry.
Okay. Did we leave anything out?
That's it, I think.
I think that's it.
Steve, want to discuss his letter? No, that's it, yeah.
Is that right?
Right, there was the correspondence from, there was the notes from Dave Cohen about camp. Hopefully everyone had a chance to look at that. Thank you, Dave.
Dave's all
Okay.
set.
We're all set.
Anything else that we didn't get to discuss that we need to discuss? No? Do we, and when is our next meeting scheduled?
September 27th.
9/27.
So Jim, that is before the road race, so we can
Yeah.
maybe recruit some people to help out beforehand
Right, correct, yeah.
or
Yes.
register and such at that meeting.
Yeah, and I would suggest, I saw in the last minutes it said that masks are optional, but I think when people are working at the desk and, registering people, I would recommend that we do wear masks because that's a little bit closer quarters.
All workers and volunteers should wear a mask.
Okay.
It's
I would-
voluntary for the people that come up to the desk and pick up their bag or something like that. But for workers and volunteers, I believe they should wear a mask at all times.
Okay. Do you think we should require when people pick up their bags and register that they also?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
put a sign up, you know how they come under the tent, they come to the end of the table, put a sign there to receive your packet or whatever it's like this, you must be wearing a face mask or something.
Yeah, I agree. I think we want to
That's
just
good.
be really careful. Okay, thank you. All right. Do we have a motion to close this meeting?
Bill DeRosa makes a motion to close the meeting.
Do we have a second?
Jane seconded.
Jane second the meeting.
She beat you, Mike. All right. All in favor of closing this meeting?
Aye.
Bill and Jane say aye.
Aye. All right. It is 8:21. Thank you all for your time and effort and dedication.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Until
Thank you.
next.